This evening, the church gives us these beautiful readings which direct our hearts and our minds to the sacredness of marriage. God's design of marriage is based upon two pillars: openness to life, openness to children. For in the first chapter of Genesis, we hear God enjoining the first parents to be fertile and multiply. The second pillar of marriage is that of unity between the man and woman, a bond of body and soul. At the end of the gospel, Jesus embraces children. Let the children come to me, for children are the fruit of the unity between man and woman. God intended that man and woman be united in holy, sacrificial marriage. Today, as we know, the sanctity of marriage and the life that flows from marriage is under attack. The first Sunday of October, that is this Sunday, is designated by the American bishops as Respect Life Sunday. And tomorrow, October 7th, is also a special day in the life of the church, for it is the feast of Our Lady of the Rosary. Now, liturgically, since the feast falls on a Sunday, we do not celebrate it in the Mass readings because Sunday liturgy will always take precedent over the feast days. Nevertheless, the church allows me to talk about it a little bit. Don't they, Father? All right. This memorial dates back to the victorious Battle of Lepanto in the year 1571. Europe was weak and divided. The Protestant Revolution had swept through Northern Europe. Other than Spain, there were no Catholic countries in Europe. The Ottoman Empire was about to invade the shores of Italy. The future of Christendom was at stake. Amazingly, the Pope, Pius V, was able to put together a coalition navy to defend Europe. More importantly, this Pope, who would later be canonized, was able to get word out to the cities and to the countryside for everyone to pray the Rosary. And they did. Churches were open day and night. People were praying the Rosary. The Pope himself led rosary processions. The sailors in the fleet united together and prayed the Rosary and attended daily masses aboard the ships heading out to battle. Against all human odds, through the powerful prayer of the Rosary, Mary interceded and led the Christians to a decisive victory over the invading Muslims. This feast day has been celebrated by the church ever since. In the centuries to follow, sadly, Europe would fall to the forces of the philosophies and the heresies that sprang from the so-called Enlightenment. These heresies of secularism, humanism, and relativism have now inundated the cultures of the Western world. The fruits of these heresies are contraception, abortion, same-sex marriage, and euthanasia. Mary has never stopped intervening throughout the centuries and throughout the world. Just over 100 years ago, she appeared to 3 children in Fatima, Portugal. The miracle of the dancing sun was seen by 70,000 people and reported in secular newspapers at the time. And what was her message? Pray the Rosary. Some of the messages that Mary gave in Fatima were private. One of those children, Sister Lucia, wrote a letter that was recently revealed. The letter said in part, "The decisive battle between the Lord and the kingdom of Satan will be over marriage and family." We've seen a glimpse of that battle on the political stage in the past few weeks. But the battle to be waged is not one of political party or party politics. It's a battle for the hearts and the souls of the culture. We first must change hearts, and that begins with our own hearts. Are we committed to fight the good fight and run the race as St. Paul exhorts us? Parents, once you are committed, you must then lead your family, your children. This past Thursday, we celebrated the feast of St. Francis of Assisi, and Jesus spoke to him from the cross. He said, "Rebuild my church." I think he's telling us the same thing today. And we begin rebuilding the church by rebuilding the foundation of our society, our families. Let us pray for the courage and the will to do it, to do what it takes to rebuild the domestic church, our families. It starts with prayer, individual prayer and family prayer, and we have a powerful weapon in the Rosary. Yes, 447 years ago, St. Pope Pius V exhorted Europe to pray the Rosary and ask Our Lady to deliver a victory. Tomorrow, our bishop asks us on Respect Life Sunday to pray the Rosary and to ask Our Lady to intercede for us in this raging battle for the hearts and minds of our culture. I understand that Justice Kavanaugh was confirmed. It's not time to do a victory lap. It's time to pray. Tomorrow, from 1:30 to 2:30, Ascension Parish has been assigned the sidewalk along 95th Street in front of Holy Cross School in order to support the sanctity of life in prayer and in solidarity. And I hope to see many of you there.